Karnataka Prant Pracharak Mukund once wrote in a local newspaper about a conversation between Deen Dayal Upadhyay and a young Swayamsevak. The Swayamsevak, Mukund wrote, asked Upadhyay, "There is a saying that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Will it not happen if the leaders of Jana Sangh get power?" he asked. Unperturbed, Upadhyay, a pracharak of the RSS and also the president of the Bharatiya Jana Sangh, the forerunner of the BJP, responded, "It is possible." "Then what is the hope for the future?" the Swayamsevak asked. Upadhyay responded, "The power of the Sangh. If the political party started by the Sangh gets corrupt, the Sangh has the power to destroy it." This conversation that happened 6 decades ago has become relevant once again. The Prime Minister Narendra Modi-led BJP has just won the Lok Sabha elections for the third consecutive time. But it has failed to achieve a majority of its own. Through the election, there was much speculation about how the RSS was not campaigning for the BJP. We at ThePrint wrote about how in Uttar Pradesh, for instance, the average RSS karyakarta felt sidelined and neglected by the BJP. And this despite the Ram Mandir, the revocation of Article 370, and the general overall implementation of the Hindutva agenda by the government. In our conversations with local karyakartas, the problem of the quote-unquote arrogant BJP leader was surfacing again and again. The RSS was not consulted on matters of ticket distribution. The BJP brought in leaders from other parties at the cost of their own local workers and leaders, and there was too much focus on the personality of the Prime Minister. The RSS, remember, has historically been opposed to personality cults. And soon after, BJP President JP Nadda made a statement in an interview to the Indian Express. He said that unlike in the past, the BJP no longer needs the RSS to win elections. With the results, however, one can safely argue that a miffed RSS does not bode well for the BJP, even now. In his first speech after the results, RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat has given what seems to be a very loaded statement. He said, "A true sevak, that is someone who serves the people, does not have ahankar, that is arrogance, and works without causing any hurt to others." Referring to the bitter poll campaign, he said decorum was not maintained in the campaign. Now, who Mohan Bhagwat may be signalling to is anybody's guess. The fact that all is not well between the BJP and the RSS is now beyond doubt. But this is not the first time that there have been tensions between the two. Fraught with power tussles, compromises, and ideological and tactical divergences, the relationship between the BJP and the RSS has often been messy. And to understand what is happening now, we need to go back many, many years. The RSS, as a lot of us know, was founded in 1925, just 10 years after the founding of the Hindu Mahasabha, whose leaders immediately thought that in the RSS they had found their youth wing. The Hindu Mahasabha would fight elections and the RSS would supply the cadres, they thought. Except that was not the RSS plan. KB Hedgiver, the first RSS Sarsanchalak, unequivocally said, and I quote, "Sangh is an organization totally aloof from politics. Hence, it will work for no political party. A Sangh Swayamsevak is at liberty to join any political party and work for it. He may participate actively in elections too, but the organization will not follow him. It will be aloof from parties and will not abandon this stand for any reason." The Hindu Mahasabha, which saw itself as the political voice of the Hindus, was aghast. What will the Sangh even do if not participate in electoral politics? The leaders of the Hindu Sabha would often wonder, and often disparagingly. Chief among them was V.D. Savarkar, the party's long-time president, who famously said, "The epitaph on a Sangh Swayamsevak will be, he was born, he joined RSS, he died." But under Golwalkar, the second Sarsanchalak of the RSS, the Sangh's opposition to politics began to border on disdain. Golwalkar once said, "A crow does not become the best bird in the world just because it happens to sit on top of the spire of a temple," he said, alluding to the aggrandizement of politicians. But with Gandhi's assassination and the subsequent ban on the RSS in 1948, things began to change. For sections in the Sangh, it was a wake-up call. Staying out of electoral politics was no longer sustainable. It was also a time when a former congressman and minister in the Nehru government, Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, who had also been the president of the Hindu Mahasabha, was looking for allies to float a political party. He got in touch with Golwalkar, and the RSS was finally ready to take the plunge, but not without a stern caveat. Naturally, I had to warn him that the RSS could not be drawn into politics, that it could not play second fiddle to any political party, since no organization devoted to the wholesale regeneration of the real, that is, cultural life of the nation, could ever function successfully if it tried to be used as a handmaid of politicians or of political parties, Golwalkar recalled as telling Mukherjee. As BJP leader Swapan Das Gupta pointed out to us, Golwalkar used to say that politics is like the toilet in the house. You don't particularly like it, but you cannot avoid it either. As the disdain for politics finally gave way to pragmatism, it was decided that the RSS would lend some of its pracharaks, staunch and tried workers who could selflessly and unflinchingly shoulder the burden of founding the new party, as Golwalkar said, to the Jana Sangh. Deen Dayal Upadhyay, Balraj Madhok, Nanaji Deshmukh were among the first to go. And thus, the Bharatiya Jana Sangh was born on 21 October 1951. But just 2 years later, Shyama Prasad Mukherjee died. The Jana Sangh was suddenly leaderless. The RSS had to take charge. Already now, there were power tussles between the Sangh leaders of the BJP and the non-Sangh leaders. The Jana Sangh president Mauli Chandra Sharma, for instance, who did not come from the RSS, wanted to make the party more quote-unquote democratic by removing the position of the organizing secretary. Now remember, the organizing secretary is a position that is manned by RSS pracharaks till date. It was in fact a position held by Prime Minister Narendra Modi both in Gujarat and nationally many years later. But actually, it was Sharma, the non-RSS president of the Jana Sangh, who was ultimately removed, and the RSS's control over the Jana Sangh was firmly established. Until 1977, when the Jana Sangh was finally dissolved to merge into the Janata Party, things continued like this. But then came another problem. The Jana Sangh group within the Janata Party was formally barred from having dual membership in the party and the RSS. Informal consultations with the RSS too had to stop. In 1980, when the BJP was formed, things did not change. The BJP leadership under Atal Bihari Vajpayee, who was himself an RSS pracharak, thought that the BJP needs to be independent of the RSS and cultivate a moderate image. Inflow of pracharaks into the BJP was not resumed, neither were the Samanvay Samiti meetings between the RSS and the BJP. The BJP went ahead and even adopted Gandhian socialism as its guiding philosophy instead of Deen Dayal Upadhyay's integral humanism. The RSS had to look for other options. As Walter Anderson, one of the most well-known scholars of the RSS, wrote, in the early 1980s, the RSS supported the Congress in some elections. It even created a new political party called the Hindu Munani in Tamil Nadu and increasingly mobilized the Vishwa Hindu Parishad to make up for its distance from the BJP. In 1981, when mass conversions of Dalits to Islam in Tamil Nadu's Meenakshipuram came to the fore, it was the VHP which took the lead to protest on the street. And it was rather successful. So it then went ahead to ready its blueprint for the Ram Mandir. The BJP was nowhere in the picture. In 1984, when elections were held after Indira Gandhi's death, the BJP was reduced to 2 seats. The distancing from the RSS and its moderate avatar had clearly not yielded much for the BJP. In 1986, L.K. Advani took charge as the president of the BJP. And the party decided to go back to its roots, that is, to the RSS. Pracharaks began to come into the party yet again. Samanvay Samiti meetings with the RSS now began. The BJP became the face of the Ram Temple movement, and its seats in parliament went from 2 to 85 by 1989. Clearly, closeness with the RSS ideologically and organizationally was yielding electoral results for the BJP. In 1971, an article authored anonymously by a Swayam Sevak once appeared in an English daily. There were 2 roads ahead for the RSS and the Jana Sangh, the article said. They could either choose to remain an ideological party and become a pressure group, or compromise on ideology and come to power. The article was written by Atal Bihari Vajpayee. It took him nearly 3 decades since then to come to power. But he did choose to compromise on ideology once he did. The RSS could not be unhappier. The first time the RSS actually flexed its muscle in government matters was in 1998, when, in a midnight coup of sorts, Sudarshan, the then Sarsanchalak of the RSS, scuttled the appointment of Jaswant Singh as finance minister in Vajpayee's first cabinet and got him instead to appoint Yashwant Sinha, who was seen to be closer to the Swadeshi Jagran Manch, an RSS affiliate. This was told to us by a senior party leader. This was just the beginning of almost a decade of simmering differences between the BJP and the RSS. In 2000, Sudarshan launched a tirade against Vajpayee's PMO. In a press briefing, he targeted some of his key officers, Brijesh Mishra, N.K. Singh, Ranjan Bhattacharya, who the RSS saw as part of a multinational lobby. The RSS, ironically, became the most vocal opposition to the BJP government. By the end of Vajpayee's tenure in 2004, RSS cadres were left asking, what did being in power even get them? It is widely suspected and speculated that even 20 years ago, the RSS did not campaign for the BJP in the 2004 elections, and the result was a shocking loss of power for the BJP. Now cut to post-2014 era. The Modi-led BJP government has adequately demonstrated its ideological affinity to the RSS. The Ram Temple has been built, Article 370 abrogated, and until very recently, the Uniform Civil Code seemed to be inevitable. But now there are other problems. The BJP sections of the RSS field has become arrogant. In a piece written for the organizer, Ratan Sharda, a leader of the RSS for instance, has called the poll results a reality check for overconfident BJP leaders and workers. He has also said that the BJP leaders were happy in their bubble and not listening to voices on the ground. The false ego that only BJP leaders understand real politics and RSS cousins were village bumpkins is smirk-worthy, he has written. The BJP RSS leadership may still deny it officially, but to anyone who cares to observe, the fact that all is not well within the Parivar is obvious. With fewer seats and a diminished mandate, whether the BJP now does indeed course correct and steer back to its mentor remains to be seen. Thanks for watching. This is Sanya Dhingra.